Hey there, welcome to another edition of the Night Sky this week for July 17th, 2024. I'm your host, Andrew Fazekas, the Night Sky Guy. So great that you could join me. Happy to be here. We're a little late this week, but hey, there's still lots of things in the sky. We didn't miss out any big things. We're going to have some amazing things to show you in the next few minutes. If you're new here, this is what we do every week. We come on live. Love to see your comments. You can put them, share where you're watching from. I love to see where all my stargazing friends are located around the world. What have you seen lately? What's interesting? Share your thoughts on the comments, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or Twitch. Love to have you here. Please show your support. If you find value in this video, don't forget to do the good stuff on social, share the live stream video, and like the video, and of course subscribe to my channel. It means a lot. It allows me to bring these videos to you for free every week into your homes. So without further ado, let's dive right in into the planetarium program powered by Sky Safari, my friends at Simulation Curriculum. Wonderful software showing us what the sky looks like tonight, Wednesday, July 17th. Wednesday, July 17th, this is, if you turn towards the west after sunset, this is what greets you. You've got Venus very close to the sun. In the glare of the sun, of course, it's a bright, close by planet, but it's still difficult because of that closeness, but it is kind of moving slowly away as the weeks progress. So you can keep an eye out to see how that works out. You'll see Venus getting a little bit easier. Just be patient. Then, of course, off to the upper left of Venus, you'll have Mercury. Mercury is slowly going to be descending, as you can see. If I move this over to show you what it looks like in the next few days, this is, of course, Wednesday, July 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th. You can see by Saturday, slightly lower movement in Mercury, but also very interesting with Mercury, you'll see that next to it is the star Regulus. This is in the constellation Leo the Lion. We talk a lot about Leo and Regulus in the springtime, late winter, early spring, late spring, still visible kind of, but not anywhere near how it used to be just a few months ago. But what's interesting is Regulus is going to have an encounter with Mercury. You can see a conjunction happening, a close encounter between the planet and the star as we head into next week. So this is, you can see July 20th. Just look at Regulus and Mercury together and see if we can, let's see if we can zoom in a little bit on that. You can see right like that. And if we sort of go for a few more days later, you can see by Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This is the 24th of July. So next week, a week from today, as of this live stream, Thursday, Friday, and you can see, so a close encounter next week between the two objects, the planet and the star. Something really cool. If you have binoculars, this is what you want to kind of look at. And let me just go back to today, zoom out a little bit more. So that is what's in store in the southwest western skies Wednesday, July 17th. But what I want to do is show you definitely what else there is. And look, Spica, bright star, is going to be in the sky in the evening. If we just go a little bit later like that, you can see Spica in the constellation Virgo the Maiden. There you can see very clearly. And then if we kind of move off to the west more, take a look at this. What do we see? We've got the moon, right? A waxing gibbous moon. So it's heading towards the full moon in a few days. But as of Wednesday, July 17th, you can see that the moon is going to be near a bright orange star. Now, you're not going to be able to miss this. This is, I think, the highlight in terms of naked eye binocular stargazing this week. So get it out, go outside if you have clear skies tonight. Maybe it's already evening where you are. I can see folks in different parts of the world, maybe in London, England. It should be already darkening skies or dark skies. This is something that if you look towards the eastern sky rising tonight, If you're a night owl, maybe it'll be closer to the southern sky, but the moon will be very, very close to a very bright star, orange colored star called Antares. You can see the pair there. Now, Antares is a special star in that it is the lead or brightest star in the constellation Scorpius, the zodiacal constellation that is in the form of a scorpion, a giant arachnid. And kind of marks the eye or the heart, depends on what mythology you look at, but I would say, hazard to say, it's the eye of the orange eye of the scorpion, and it's next to the beautiful moon. So this is just a gorgeous pairing of the silvery orb of the moon next to this bright orange star. And the pair is just going to travel together over the course of the night. You can see that. And what's interesting is also the location where we're talking about is very close, just off to the side of this pairing. So where you have on one side of the moon Antares, on the opposite side is the heart of the Milky Way galaxy. So that giant glow in the sky you see in this planetarium program represents the hub, the downtown hub of the spiral galaxy we call the Milky Way. It's our home galaxy. If I kind of zoom out, you can see it stretches across the sky, much of the sky. Look at that. You can see that's from the southern to all the way to the northeast. See that? Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? From the south all the way to the northeast. And northern part of the sky is where you can see, and this is sky like right above, almost near the zenith. Zenith means that it's straight above, and this is set for, by the way, mid-northern latitudes. So your sky may be different if you're closer to the equator or south of the equator, definitely. Scorpius is a constellation really big in the winter skies for you, those of you in the southern hemisphere. And for me and my fellow northern stargazers, this is something that is in the summer sky. And if you're closer to the equator, it gets higher up in the sky. The more closer you are to the North Pole, the lower it is, the harder it is to see the constellation Scorpius. And we're really heading into right now prime time views of Scorpius. So if those of you out there, like in cities like in London, England, Rome, Berlin, Seattle, in Washington State, or New York, Washington, wherever you are in that kind of a latitude, right now really represents some of the best views of Scorpius, this part of the sky. And pointing to it very conveniently tonight on July 17th is the moon. And Antares, by the way, is a red giant star. It's near the end of its life. It's huge. It's a bloated star, many times bigger than our sun. And what's interesting is that that it is 550 light years away. So when you're looking at this beautiful pair, the moon and Antares, just remember it takes over 5 centuries for the light to reach your eye from that star. Isn't that just incredible? To me, that's just one of those amazing things in terms of sky watching, a gee whiz kind of fact, and something to really, humble you, I think, when you're looking at the sky, these kind of factoids. And it's really cool. So easy to see with the naked eye, even if you're in the city, check that out. And the Milky Way, as I said, is stretched out before us. Now, what's interesting, let me just show you, let me just jump into a view of the galactic view, and you can see this is, of course, the Milky Way from the side, and this is why you see it kind of like as a line in the sky. There's the hub of the Milky Way. That's where the sun is. You can see we are located in the humdrum suburbs in the outer spiral arm of the Milky Way. There's the center core of the Milky Way from above the plane of our galaxy. Remember, there's over something like 400, 500 billion stars huddled and formed, compacted into these formations that are like these spiral formations, and of course the central hub. And so when you're looking towards Scorpius, remember that moon and all that area just off to the side of that is where the central hub. So we're here where the sun is, right? Looking towards the core of the galaxy, right? So when we go back to our map, There's the core of the galaxy. Remember that kind of bulging, kind of roundish area? That's where this, and this here, this line is one of those arms, the arms of the Milky Way. So I hope that gives you perspective, when you're thinking and looking at the Milky Way. And by the way, to see the Milky Way, this stuff that I'm pointing out, you need darker skies. You need to be out like in a maybe a distant suburb of a large city. Like I am located in Montreal, Canada. I'm just off the island city of Montreal, I would say about 40 minutes, 45 minutes from the downtown core of our city of 3 million people approximately. And I can see the Milky Way from my location. I can photograph it. It's not very bright, but I can make out a faint haze, this faint cloud-like streak across on the top of the sky. Now, let me share with you one more thing to see. Of course, with the moon, we'll go back to it in a minute, but here's Deneb, Vega, and Altair, the summer triangle. So this is close to overhead for those of us in mid-northern latitudes. I'd highly recommend you go check out the summer triangle. And one of those reasons is if you are hunting down the Milky Way, it stretches right across the center of the summer triangle. So it's a great way to learn different constellations. You'll learn Vega represents Lyra constellation. Deneb is the brightest star in the constellation of Cygnus the Swan. And Altair is another bright star that represents the constellation Aquila the Eagle, right there. So it's just a great way to learn constellations by finding this pattern called the summer triangle, and you get to find where the Milky Way galaxy runs through as well. How cool is that? Now, if we follow the moon later this week, I just wanted to show you where it's going. Let me just go a little bit later. That's at 10:25, like around 11:30 there. That's about as high as we can go with Scorpius from my location. So if we change the date to Thursday, look at the moon. The moon is traveling now, is kind of like embedded at the center of where the core of the Milky Way galaxy is. And by the way, this is, a great time. Take your binoculars, look at the moon, but you'll see like clouds of stars around it. And it's really impressive because those clouds of stars are at the core of the galaxy, 28,000 light years away. This area right here, you can see where I'm showing with the mouse. That's the core. So maybe with the brightness of the moon, you're going to have a little bit of a tricky time. But now you know where Antares is and where the hub of the Milky Way is. And so you're staring 28,000 light years away, that glow on the horizon. It's really incredible. It is very cool. The Creek Walker 01, thank you very much on YouTube. Nicola is watching on Facebook. Very nice. Great to be back, guys. Thanks so much. And yes, excited to see the Perseids coming up, right? The Perseid meteor shower, don't forget, peaks on August 12th and 13th. So mark that on your calendar. It's the best meteor shower of the year. So definitely don't want to miss it. Remember, August 12th and 13th. So we'll talk more about that in the coming weeks. No problem. So I'll have you all set up. You won't miss a thing with that. And so the moon is heading, this is on Thursday, the 18th, 19th. It's embedded in the constellation Sagittarius, another zodiacal constellation. Very, very cool, near full moon. By Saturday, you can see right there, it's in Sagittarius, and the moon is, we can see here, it's a full moon by Saturday. That is the 20th. It's still in Sagittarius. And then if we continue watching the moon, where is it on Sunday? By Sunday, it's in Capricornus, the sea goat, another zodiacal constellation. Then it's transitioning by Monday next week at the tail end of Capricornus and into Aquarius, another zodiacal constellation. And look, there is Saturn. Now, this is interesting too. I want you to see that Saturn is rising up too from day to day. So we're just going to go back here to Wednesday tonight. This is around near midnight. Saturn is a yellowish bright star, and this is going to be pinning down the east sky. So it's rising up in the east. If you want to see Saturn with its rings, You got to be a little bit of a night owl this week to be able to see that. But if we turn, you can see by 12, by 1 o'clock in the morning, it'll be much higher, easier to spot. So this is what I'm saying. You just have to be patient. Depends on if you're determined to see Saturn like that. But let's say if we move off into the morning, if you're more of an early bird, by 4:30 in the morning, Saturn will be high, very high in the southern sky. And it'll be joined by Neptune, the most distant major planet in our solar system. But you need very strong binoculars, dark skies, or at least a small telescope to spot the bluish green disk of Neptune. Again, that'll be near Saturn, that pairing in the southern sky this week. So that's something. And look at this. Behold this, guys. This is what will greet you, for instance, on Thursday morning, tomorrow, as of this live stream. You'll see a bunch of amazing planets and stars, bright stars, huddled together in the eastern sky. So if you are an early bird, beautiful sight in terms of stargazing. You've got Aldebaran marking the eye of the bull, Taurus the bull, next to Jupiter, the brightest of all star-like objects in the eastern sky. So if you do get up, say an hour, half hour before sunrise, this is what will greet you with Mars and Uranus and Capella and Bellatrix, a whole series of beautiful stars huddled in the low eastern sky. So that's it, folks, for this week. I'm going to post sky charts for all of this stuff. So don't worry. If you're interested in finding out more about stargazing, you might want to check out my book, Backyard Guide to the Night Sky by National Geographic. I actually sell signed, personally dedicated copies. I ship internationally, so makes for a great gift. If you're interested, that's a small soft cover bestseller. And also I have my big mega book, 6.5 pounds of knowledge, Stargazer's Atlas, the ultimate guide to the night sky, again, out by National Geographic. Beautiful book. As you can imagine, National Geographic produces amazing maps and also photographs. It's the ultimate guide to the night sky. And if you want to sign up for my free stargazing newsletter, I'll have my next edition coming out in a few days. So be patient, and with all kinds of goodies on what you can see in the night sky as well. So, hey, listen, if you found value to any of these things that I've talked about today, I'd love for you to sign up for subscribe to my channel, give it a like, share it with your friends and family. Stargazing's for free. It's awesome. And it's just outside your backyard, no matter where you are, city or countryside, and wherever you are in the globe. We all share in the same sky. So with that, thanks so much for your attention. I hope you stay safe and healthy. And until the next video, clear skies.